Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, with my beautiful co-host,
Krystal.
We bring you guys awesome interviews, and today on the line is an honor and privilege to have Mr. Mark Alexander. He is the guitarist of Erasing Never and Inviolate, and plus we have Kadria, the vocalist of Inviolate. So we're going to be talking to those folks about Inviolate and what's in store, and basically give us a little rundown on Inviolate. So, Mark, Kadria, how you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Wonderful.
Doing awesome. Krystal, wanted to get you guys on here. So, Krystal, I will let you kick this off, good lady, and keep your Phil Anselmo version of yourself chilled out there a little bit.
I'll try. I promise.
Bring it out every now and then.
This question's for Mark. How do you like working with Kadria on this project?
It's
a loaded question, right?
We were just recording some guitar parts right now, actually. Well, I mean, in my opinion, the recording part's a pain in the ass anyway, but it's going. I think it's going really well. I mean, the record seems to be coming together very nicely. She writes some wild ass guitar parts. Let me tell you, it's wrote on a computer, and translating it to guitar is a task sometimes, but it works. It sounds good. It's rock.
Kadria, give us a little bit of background on Inviolate, because this is a unique group of various musicians. Tell us exactly what Inviolate is, and how do you balance all this with all these musicians?
With a lot of hair pulling out. Inviolate is actually a band. It actually was the original configuration did have permanent members at its start. We actually started in 2006. And had a permanent guitarist and permanent bass player, and then me. And then it was Spinal Tap because we couldn't get a drummer to stay for us, every single 10 months. It was like, God damn it, we need to do it. Oh, is this FCC? Can I curse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
Good thing.
So we would revolve, drummers every 10 months. And so it got to the point maybe about 4 or 5 years later, Chris actually had to go up to New Jersey because his wife got this really cool job up there. And he stayed with us for a little bit and then had to, join the wife. And then some stuff for Brian had happened and, life moved on. Roughly about the same time. So they said, we sat three to bust down. They said, Kadria, if you want to continue Inviolate, you've got our blessing. Just, if you're going to record any of the stuff that we wrote, then, make sure we get credit. That's cool. I totally understood that. And so around September 2010 is when I started doing the rotating lineup, and started with several musicians here in the Atlanta area. We'd have some shows, and I'd be like, okay, who, he's going to be on guitar, he's going to be on drums, he's going to be on bass. And it just ended up working. It's like I would have different musicians for different shows, and then some of them would come back. They seemed to like me, I guess. They seemed to like what was going on. Mm-hmm. And, instead of hiding the fact and making it, it's all about me, I'm purposely trying to make them shine as well and being like, look, this is a different configuration, and all these musicians are part of Inviolate. They're actually part of the band. There's only it's like part-time members. There's some offices have part-time workers and contract workers, and kind of like that. I'm the only full-time member at this point, and it's been going on since 2010, and it seems to work because nobody else is doing it.
I've actually sat and watched when Mark's playing his guitar riffs when you go online, and plus my buddy Derek Obscura, I've sat and watched him when you guys go
Derek.
live. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Even on the live feed, Kadria is sitting there getting down to it, so that's pretty cool when you see that happening.
Hey, if the music is good and if I'm dancing, that means I'm feeling the music. That's pretty much it. And that goes for any show that I go to. I don't care if I look like a fool. If I'm enjoying myself, I'll dance.
That's exactly right.
Did you hear her beatboxing?
I think so. Hey, it's all good.
Yeah, I had to have her beatbox some of the lyrics to it,
because of my crazy ass rhythms that I write supposedly. I'm not primarily a guitar player. I mean, it's like my third or fourth instrument down the line. So when I write this stuff, then I give it to the guitarist, and they're like, "What the?" Okay. But I think it's good though, because it's not, I'm not trained as a guitarist. I don't have those modes stuck in my head, which, it's got its place. But,
right.
I
mean, exactly. Mm-hmm. I mean, when they're asking you hey, what do you want it to sound like? That's the only thing you can do. I mean, you don't play, so that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
Yeah.
Mark, how hard is it juggling being a member of both Erasing Never and Inviolate?
Well, I guess I'm lucky because I have a day job where I work with my father and just one other guy, and so it's if I have to take off and go on tour or something, I can just go do it, because I kind of work with myself. I work with them, if that makes sense. So I've got a really good boss. He's my father,
That helps.
and it's not that bad a drive, really, when you think about it. It's only about 6 hours to Cleveland, Ohio, and about 4.5, depending on traffic, 5.5 to Atlanta from my house. So it's not bad. I know some people think I'm crazy for doing it, but I can do it, so here I am.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are talking about your writing on the new album right now. How much is written on it, and how long will it be released? Possibly? Give us a time frame, maybe?
Well, it's pretty much all written. There's a couple of lyrics that I'm still refining, and probably will refine all the way up until I actually step in the vocal booth.
Yeah.
So, but all the guitar is written, all the electronics are written, the drums have already been laid down, and I'm recording some more bass tomorrow with one of our Star 2.0 members, Robert Cannon. And we are looking to release this probably end of June. We can get all of this recorded, mixed, mastered, and pressed. I know it's a pretty aggressive timeline, but we're looking early summer for this to be released.
Well, yeah. How much growth do you guys feel like you've seen Inviolate go through?
I think it's a pretty big jump. The last album we had was released in 2012. So you got 5 years of being on the road, trying to do the Weekend Warrior stuff, small tours, growing it with the number of people and the different ways they are interpreting the music. I think it's actually pretty big at this point, how big the jump is going to be from Feast of Ashes, which is 2012 album, to this one.
Go ahead,
As far as guitar goes, I think it's more technical. It's more like European, Middle Eastern sounding. I think it is. Wow. You think about the twerk metal?
Yes, I'm thinking about Southern Industrial Twerk metal. Mark is apparently he's actually invented a new sub genre in his interpretation. It is Middle Eastern Southern Industrial Twerk metal, complete with him wearing a coin sash.
And nothing else.
That sounds fucking awesome, though.
And I have a wrestling
Yes,
move.
they're really circulated, yes.
And I have a wrestling move. If I ever become a wrestler, it will devastate and knock anybody out. It's called a Norwegian toe hold.
Right.
Yes.
Telling you.
You must demonstrate and put it on video for us.
Yeah, I'll be champion in like 2 days.
Do it to Krystal.
Yeah.
I'm going to record it. I'm going to put it on YouTube. We'll make it go viral.
Right.
I don't think they will see a fat man in spandex in the ground rolling around, so no.
I don't know. There's always a niche market for everything if you market it right.
That's
There
true.
we go.
That's true. This is for both of you. How hard do you push yourselves? You, Kadria, on your vocals, plus Mark on your guitar. How hard have you pushed yourself on this album getting ready to come out?
No sleep.
Yeah.
Takeout meals. No housekeeping. This is the only thing I'm doing now. This one has been a huge learning experience, I think, as far as this is the first time that Inviolate's actually recording guitar and bass by ourselves and then taking it to a studio. So it's been a huge learning process on my end. And what I'm doing vocally and, well, let's put it this way. This album will have clean vocals for me, screaming vocals, and Middle Eastern vocals, and I've never done that before on an album. So it's, again, lots of learning and trying to apply it, and let's see how it works in the studio for me.
I guess for me is first show I played with Inviolate was back in
May?
September last year. That was Whitechapel.
Was that the first one?
First one, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she told me about it. We've been talking about me being a part of the group, and finally she told me that they were going to open Whitechapel at the warehouse in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I basically had 3 weeks to learn about 8 songs. So I said, all right, let's go.
Good God. Good God.
So I guess that pushed me pretty hard to learn those 8 songs. I did it.
I would say
You did it
so.
quite well. I will have to say you did it quite well. You got a few new fans up there too. So Warehouse is actually a pretty awesome venue. Love playing there.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Dude, that's kick ass.
Thanks.
Good.
I'm lucky I can learn Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in like 3 weeks. So
That would be me on bass.
me and Kadria's next project, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
There you go. Side project. Violet 3.5.
Go ahead, Krystal.
What can fans expect at one of your shows?
Well, there's several different parts to it. You know, you actually do have the metal part where, you know, we look like I hope so, we look like a real metal band up there doing metal band things. But I'm also a belly dancer, and I incorporate that into the live show. So while I'm screaming and headbanging and windmilling, I'm also doing shimmies and hip pops and drops and all that wonderful stuff. It's quite a workout. And then one particular part of our live show that seems to be a crowd pleaser is that I pull out this sword, nice, big, and curved, and shiny, and sharp, and I dance with it. So, you know, Mark or, you know, all the guys who need a break from, you know, that, you know, they just need like a water break or a beer break or something like that, tune guitars. Instead of the crowd listening to me blab all the time, they get to watch me dance with a sword.
On your head?
On my head.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
on my head, on my chest.
She does the whole dance with most of the sword on her head.
Yes.
Wow. Holy crap.
There's video proof. I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. And you've seen them twice, Krystal, you said?
Yeah. I saw Mark wasn't playing with you guys, but at Munchies, I've seen you guys twice.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's where I first seen.
Yeah.
3 Quarters Dead was playing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I met you too.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
That was awesome.
Tiny stages, man. I think it's Power Man and Soil was on there too.
That venue is awesome.
Yeah.
I love it up there. I've never had a bad time in West Virginia. Never.
Yeah, you need to get back here soon.
We're talking with, I'm in contact with Brian Resner, so you know we definitely can get something up there. I do want to come back for sure.
See,
yeah.
I'm in the eastern part of Kentucky, and we don't have shit here. I mean, I'm telling you right now, we don't have nothing. I wish that, well, we used to have, you know, the Expo Center, and they would get some cool bands when it first came in, but then it just stopped, and this sucks. I wish we had a Munchies over here. I wish we had something like that, but we have to drive at least 3+ hours to see a damn good show.
Oh, man.
Yeah, which I don't care. I'll do
Well,
it.
you know, I mean, if something opens up and there's a venue or something like that, let us know. We'll play.
Yeah, I want to open something up. I want to do something like this.
Keep us posted.
You can do it, man.
Yeah.
You can't have enough venues.
That's exactly right, Mark. That's exactly right. And people don't get it.
That's right.
I said you hit the nail on the head right there. That's exactly right. People don't get it. It doesn't matter if you're bringing in national groups to a little venue. It doesn't matter. It's just a place for a band to play that don't ever get to play hardly. Bring those groups in and let them have their voice.
That's right. And Eastern Kentucky is not a saturated area with venues. So it's all, you know, whenever there's a venue, when we're trying to route a tour or route a long weekend or something like that, you know, let's say that we end up playing in, you know, northern Ohio and we need to come down, you know, up and down back to Atlanta, then that would be the perfect spot to do like, oh, well, then let's go ahead and do this Friday and then do our, you know, Ohio show on Saturday, you know, things like that. So, I mean, it's always good to have, you know, those venues in between the big cities.
This is for both of you, Krystal
Nothing new here.
Krystal and Selmo over there. Do you both prefer the digital era that we're in right now of recording music, especially albums and everything, to get your stuff out there quicker? Or would you guys prefer to be in an actual, you know, studio and do the 2-inch tape, things like that? Do you like this era that we're in right now?
Yes.
Yeah. The Pro Tools is a very good thing. I've recorded with Jamie King a lot, you know, Winston-Salem, and he talks about the whole cutting tape. You know, he's done it before, not for very long, but he started like in the early 90s, I think. But he's done it before, and he says it is a big time pain in the ass compared to what it is today.
I like having the digital tools at my disposal so I can get a song as close as I need it to before actually handing it over to an engineer who knows what he's doing. You know, I am also the electronic sample engineer, so that's where the industrial part comes in. So having all sorts of crazy tools to go stretch sounds and make all sorts of weird things out of, you know, just, you know, hitting a hammer on a piece of concrete or something like that, and having the availability to turn sounds into something cool. I've always liked that aspect of the digital world because you have more tools at your disposal now than you did 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
for
a lot.
sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and well, plus too, I guess you can take your time to do an album instead of being pressed and have to get something out really quick.
Yes. That was the premise behind this recording, this recording phase at this point. Still a big learning curve.
Yeah.
But no engineers are going to go out of business because of me.
Hey, you do a good job.
That's right. This is all the laying the ideas down. That's what I do with the digital tools. Then I give it to somebody who really knows how to mix and say, that sucks and that needs to be moved here. And I'll say, yes, sir.
What do you guys feel like makes Inviolate 2.0 unique?
Besides the revolving lineup? I think because of the revolving lineup, everybody interprets the songs slightly differently. And when you get different combinations of musicians on bass, guitar, and drums working with each other, you're not going to get the same product twice. You're not going to get the same show twice because everyone has their own spin on it. And everyone has their own combination spins on stuff. And I love that about having Inviolate 2.0. The other thing, too, is that some people skew a little more metal. Some people skew a little bit more punk and industrial, and they put that element into it as well. So, let's say that we got invited onto a show that's an opener for a big industrial band, and I have, those two particular musicians on there. They're able to, turn the music into a little bit more like that. So the combination part is fun, and also, I will be perfectly honest, having multiple musicians come in who are also in other bands, they also bring their fans to our show. So, I could have, with Derek, he's part of the Casket Creature.
Yeah.
Or the Davey Suicide. So those fans will come to see Inviolate because Derek is playing it. And hopefully when we go up north, some Racing Never fans will come up. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
So there's an audience cross-section every single time. There are some core Inviolate fans, but depending on who's playing, we also get some of their other bands' fans to come see us.
I think that's awesome. You incorporate everybody's band and fans and things like that. I mean, and I think it's so cool that you have this unique revolving, musicians that's part of this, and there's no bickering between the bands and things like that. I think that's fucking awesome. And some bands just need to stop bickering, things like that, and let your bandmates go and do what they want to before they leave. I think that's fucking awesome what y'all doing.
Well, thank you. That's another perk, I guess, of being in and being a member of Inviolate, part-time member of Inviolate, is that I have absolutely no bones. If you want to start I don't know. I'm just going to throw something totally weird out there. If you want to start a Bonnie Raitt death metal band, go right on ahead. Have fun with that. I will support you with that. I just think it'll be something crazy out there. Be in 10 billion other projects. I don't care. I will support you on that. I will go to your shows. You can have as many things outside as you want to. I know some bands are like, no, this is the only project you can have. And I'm just like, no, I don't care. Get more people to come see us through these other bands. I know that's fine with me.
Ooh, bluegrass death metal band.
Bluegrass death
metal
band.
That would be awesome.
Put some sports on the banjo. That'd be awesome.
What made you both want to become a musician? What was that spark that said, that's exactly what I want to do right there?
Oh, okay. This will date me. I won't give you the exact number, but this will date me. I think every girl in my era at some point wanted to be Whitney Houston. Wanted to be in that glittery dress and singing and having all eyes on her and everything like that. Sure, okay. I'll freely admit it. I wanted to be Whitney Houston. I was all. I just always have loved singing. It has not been anything that's been running through my family or anything. I was a black sheep, but I think that was also part of the appeal. Nobody else in my family was doing it. And, I've always enjoyed being a performer, whether it was singing and dancing or any combination thereof.
I guess for me, it started when I was very young, probably about 7 or 8 years old. I was, believe it or not, a wrestling fan.
I believe it.
A wrestling fan and a horror fan before I even before I discovered heavy metal music.
Yes, sir.
I remember the tag team called the Road Warriors that came out to Iron Man.
Yeah.
I always thought that song was just so, he was so evil sounding. It so fit their image, when it came out, because when you heard that first note bend, and you knew they were coming out, they were going to beat the living shit out of somebody.
That's exactly right. They hit the ring, too, quick.
What's up?
I said, when you heard Iron Man play for the Road Warriors, they ran to the ring and your ass was kicked.
That's it.
That's right.
That's it. It's about over. And I remember watching, my parents used to watch Entertainment Tonight about every night. And at the end of it, I remember one time they played, I don't know if it was the debut of it or what, but it was Ozzy's Bark at the Moon video where he's a werewolf.
Yeah.
And man, I might have been 9 years old, something like that. And I just thought it was so cool, because I liked horror and everything, and werewolves and stuff like that. And I thought Ozzy was a girl because he had long hair at the time. But that's what got me started. That, and I saw Faith No More on Saturday Night Live, and that changed everything. I just started listening and eventually playing music. Yeah, that's it.
I actually have a wrestling podcast, and Animal is going to be on my podcast for my wrestling podcast. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad you mentioned the Road Warriors because I'm also a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
I loved it, dude. Like you said, when you heard their entrance of Iron Man hit, they was on this dead sprint to the ring, and it was nonstop kicking your ass, and the matches didn't even last that long at all, did they, Mark?
No, you had to be somewhat of an equal to them to even last 2 to 3 minutes with them.
Yeah, and the coolest match that I ever saw was between the Road Warriors and the Midnight Express. It was a scaffold match out in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, that was insane.
I think Jim Cornette actually broke his leg on that.
He tore both of his ligaments, his ACL and something else in his knees. So
I knew he got hurt on that.
How high was they up in the air? About 30, 40 feet, maybe higher in the air.
It's about 25, 30 feet.
Yeah, when he hit the ring, I mean, it was like a ton of bricks hitting the ring the way it sounded. I mean, it was bad.
What does it mean to you guys when you have fans tell you that your music has impacted their life?
Your turn.
I mean, well, it's very flattering, to know that you have that kind of reach and power. Yes, and one of the reasons I play and stuff is so I can be part of something that is bigger than myself individually, and it stays forever after you're gone from this world. Hopefully, you'll be remembered.
I think it's pretty humbling, actually. Here you are doing absolutely what you love, and the lyrics I write are 100% out of experience. It's not like me trying to be somebody else. And some of the crazy shit that I've gone through. If somebody has told me that that particular song has made them feel better, or they could connect to it, or something like that, it is humbling. But it's also gratifying to know that all the shit that you've gone through is actually meant something. It actually was for something. It wasn't just because the world and the universe is a cruel and a horrible place and wants to do bad things to you. It's like, okay, a lot of people would say, I'm not. I listened to I listened to the song Condemned, and I connected with it at some level. I didn't feel so alone. I've gotten that a few times, and it's, I guess, part of the reason why we do it is because we don't want to feel alone and having to go through life. And there are other people out there. There's a feeling of solidarity there, and it's humbling and gratifying all at once. And I want to keep doing it.
I just like to say, as a fan of music, period, thank you, Mark, and thank you, Kadria, for what you're all doing for Inviolate, and plus your other bands that you're involved in. Thanks for creating music and letting us have a fresh breath of air, pretty much, to listen to new stuff. Thank you, guys.
Well, thanks so much. Hopefully see y'all at Munchies here sooner rather than later.
That's right.
Want to add anything?
Yeah, you'll definitely see me there.
I definitely drink beer and raise hell.
Yeah.
Krystal is a Munchie regular, as I should say.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for having us on there.
Hey, before I let you go,
guys.
Would one of you care to do a promo for the show?
As in like a tagline?
Yeah.
What up, y'all? This is Kadria from Inviolate, and you are listening to the BODS Mayhem Hour.
All right, everybody, stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. From my lovely co-host,
Krystal.
We will see you guys next week. Thanks, Mark and Kadria.
Thank you so much.